What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Still a nation, and anyone else who may be watching. I know this stream here is a little bit of a slow burn. You know, some of you guys got to get used to it. I talked about it on Tuesday's show that I think I would start doing the before play as a stream. A lot of you guys say you prefer that versus the recorded video. This is a week that I do have another opportunity to stream. So here we are. Here we are. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to do the normal, I'm going to give you, look at the injury report, look at the, who's expected to be out for both teams. Then I'll give you some light keys to victory, and then I'll get into the chat, man. I'll sit here and kick it with you guys for a moment, and this is intended to be a shorter show, not that long. And I already see that people have some comments here. Definitely want to address what Mark Irish is saying, so I'll get to that. So welcome to everybody who's here. Let me make sure everything is streaming correctly. I believe it is. Always have to double check the audio, man. Technology does some wonky things. Okay, looks like everything is great. Let's get to it. So first and foremost, man, listen, for anybody who's new, who may see this show here in real time or in the post play, this is my intention, or my intention is to kind of give you some light keys to victory, and I talk about what's going on with the current injury situation for both teams. And then after that, man, I just give some light reflection. So that's what we're doing here. Let's do it. First and foremost, let's bring up the injury reports. We'll start with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, as you can see, I'm going to look at what happened on Friday. And then, after that, we'll definitely talk about the game time decisions. And appreciate it, Jameer Sanders. I do see the donation. I'll get to that here in just a moment to recognize that. But let's run through this really quick, man. As you can see, on Friday, it shows that Roman Wilson was definitely on the injury report. We already know about Roman Wilson. He was limited with the hamstring. Najee Harris was full, dealing with some type of rib situation, but he was full participant. DeMonte KZ is a full participant, dealing with an ankle. Obviously, we know about Nick Herbig as well as Zach Frazier. Nobody expected these guys to practice, but as it confirms there, they did not practice. Alex Highsmith was full. That is good to see. Montravius Adams was limited with the knee. Dylan Cook, full, dealing with the foot. Isaac Seumalo, rest, and he was full today. Michael Pruitt was full, dealing with the knee. Cordero Patterson did not practice, dealing with an ankle still. TJ Watt, Cam Haywood, and Larry Ogunjobi, as expected, a rest day, but they were full participants as they're listed here as far as Friday. So if we take a look at the game time, game status, Roman Wilson is questionable. Now, I did see video footage of Roman Wilson today moving around, looked to be okay, but, apparently yesterday, if you're watching this on Friday, yesterday being Thursday, apparently there was some type of hamstring situation with Roman Wilson, man. Hopefully he's not going to be plagued with injuries, man. I really want to get this kid on the field, but we shall see. But this is what's interesting here. We know about Zach Frazier, but they have already ruled out Alex Highsmith, right? And that's the reason why I show both for you guys that don't pay attention or, look at the details of the injury report. It said that Alex Highsmith was full, and yet they have him listed as out. Now, I don't know if this will change, because we kind of saw that happen with Jaylen Warren last week, where his status kind of changed later on in the week, but it was Friday. We did know it by Friday. So this is interesting, man, that they already are showing Alex Highsmith as out, and he was a full participant in today's practice. So that is interesting. Montravius Adams is questionable. Dylan Cook is out. And then, of course, Cordero Patterson is out. Now, if we take a look at our opponent, we don't really need to see who was out Friday. Let's just take a look at their game, the status. Michael Carter is out with the back. Tight end Tyler Conklin is out, questionable with the hip. Cornerback DJ Reed is questionable with the groin. and linebacker Chaz Surratt. This is a guy, if you guys remember, out of North Carolina. I want to say this was a guy that we kept our eyes on when the Steelers were still in the market for drafting an inside backer. This was a guy I remember talking about, myself and Kenyon. Not really sure how his career has gone in the NFL, but just a name that I recognize. He's questionable as well. So we'll keep an eye on those guys, man, to see if those guys actually play. I think the DJ Reed and the Conklin would be big blows to the Jets if those guys are out. So absolutely, I think that'll be a situation, as well as Michael Carter. I mean, I'm skipping right past him. Him being out is significant as well. As I just saw, AR said that as well. Yeah, that would be significant if those guys are unable to go. I'm not going to complain. I like competition, but at the end of the day, injuries are a part of it. We're dealing with injuries as well, so I'm never going to be upset that someone can't compete because they are plagued with injuries when our team also is plagued with injuries. So there you have it. So, all right, let's get back here to the screen, and we shall continue. I'll talk really quickly, man, as far as what I think the keys to victory will be, and then I'm definitely going to address the elephant in the room, because I'm sure some of you guys have some things that you guys want to say. I'm sure some of you guys have some opinions. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the elephant in the room, but like I said, we'll be kind of brief. As far as keys to victory, man, I think this is what the Steelers will need to do. We need to definitely be able to run the football to set up play action, because if it's trending the way we all think it might be trending, and if Russell Wilson is going to be the guy taking the reins over, then, the biggest argument that you can make for Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson has been pretty accurate in his career. Had a decent season with the Broncos last year, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. But his biggest thing, man, is being able to pass the ball downfield, being able to play off of play action. That is a huge and significant part of Russell Wilson's ability. So in order for the Steelers to really run play action and make it count, they're going to need to be able to run the football. Because, again, if Justin Fields is not out there, I've been saying this, you're taking that element of run with quarterback away. I'm talking about design runs. I'm talking about RPOs where the quarterback is a running option. I'm talking about zone reads and read option and speed option, as we saw the Steelers pull off last week with Fields and Warren. That stuff is taken off of the table. So you definitely would need traditional running to be working in order for the play action pass to be more potent and be more of a threat. I do think you can run play action and still affect the defense even when you're not running the ball well. But obviously when you're running it well, that's when you start cheating guys up. And shout outs again to A&R. He mentioned that their cornerbacks could be out, both of them. Now, you're putting those guys in compromising positions because, if you're trying to play the box a little bit, because the run game is going and you bring guys up or cheat safeties down and you leave one-on-one on the outside, not having your full complement of corners could be a tremendous blow for the Jets. So all in all, the Steelers would definitely need to run the football and do it effectively. Outside of that, man, listen, defensively, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers need to most definitely play tighter coverage. I understand in the NFL or at any level, you cannot play man coverage all game and you cannot play zone coverage all game, even though some teams do it and some teams are successful doing it. Some teams, you've seen football teams who believe in man coverage so much, that's all they run. And they just say, hey, it's going to be mano a mano, whoever wins, wins. I might be more on the side of entertaining running man more than zone against Aaron Rodgers. Now, they have Devontae Adams now, who you would expect is going to draw a lot of attention. Will Joy Porter Jr. travel with him? But they also have Garrett Wilson, okay? You also have Lassard, who's a guy who works very well with Aaron Rodgers. So I'm interested to see how the Steelers are going to play it. If the Steelers still want to do their drop zone, which I'm not a fan of drop zones spot drop zones in today's NFL. I'm just not, because you're giving the quarterback too many options, especially a veteran like Aaron Rodgers. If we're going to play zone, we have to play a tighter zone. You guys hear me talk about it each and every week. I feel like the Steelers, our defense, the way it's designed, we give up too much space. There's usually at least one quarter that's playing 10 yards off the line of scrimmage or 10 yards away from the receiver. And sometimes we roll the other corner up. And that's kind of the look that we put out there. But even when we roll them tight, we kind of play this trail technique. It's kind of like, we lay off and we generally give up a lot of the inside. And that's how teams a lot of times have been able to have their way with us in the middle of the field. Cannot do that against Aaron Rodgers, man. We can't. So that would be my defensive approach. I'm not going to say the obvious things like, oh, stop the run. Yeah, of course we want to stop guys like Breece Hall, and I forget their backup running back. But also, I'm more concerned with Aaron Rodgers being able to sit back there and have his way. Hopefully TJ Watt has something to say about that. But again, man, if you pay attention to what Aaron Rodgers has been doing this year, just watching the game last week, I did a little self-scouting. He's getting the ball out of his hand very fast. A lot of times that negates the pass rush. So this is the reason, again, why I feel like the Steelers need to play a tighter zone or play more man coverage. Donation. And just let it be what it's going to be. Let me interrupt myself really quick, man. I want to say thank you and shout outs to, you know what? I realize I think I've been saying your name wrong, and let me know if I'm correct. I've been calling you Jameer, but I think the way it's spelled, is it Jamari? Let me know which way it is, man, so I'm saying your name correctly. But thank you for the Wonder Bread. Round of applause. He says, so sad Justin got benched. Hope Russ plays well. I'm with you. He says TJ Smith need to get to AR early, frustrate him. Smith, who's Smith? Who's Smith? Smith. Who's Smith? Am I missing somebody? But I think he's definitely saying TJ needs to get to him, to Aaron Rodgers early and frustrate him. Yeah, hopefully. Oh, maybe he said TJ and Highsmith. Okay, got you. But I think Highsmith is out. According to what we saw, it looks like Alex Highsmith is out. Again, man, let me show it to y'all again, but that's what it's saying on the site. Right here, it's saying Alex Highsmith game status is out, which is confusing because it shows Alex Highsmith practiced in full on Friday, today. So, I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm with you. If Highsmith plays, then absolutely correct, man. They need to try to get to him. But like I said, he's been getting that ball out really fast. So that's why I think, man, Steelers need to reduce that space that we give with the zone. And I'm talking about just off the line. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We give opposing receivers too much space, man. Especially we funnel them inside, but you're giving them the slant, you're giving them the skinny post because we lay off so much. And no, we need to not do that. If you're gonna play zone against Aaron Rodgers, let's reduce that space a little bit. Let's just say if you're lined up 10 yards or so off the ball, why don't we cut it down to about 6? Reduce that space a little bit. Play more of a tighter zone. Because I am concerned with Aaron Rodgers getting rid of that ball quick. But that's really all I got, man, as far as the keys. I think it will be an interesting game. And now let's address the elephant in the room before we get out of here. I put Mike Tomlin as my thumbnail because he is the focal point. I've seen it both ways. Some people agree with the potential change. Some people disagree. And I'm just going to give you a few comments here. And I want to hear from you all. So please get active in the comments. The one thing that I'm not understanding so much from the media and even some fans, how some people are so upset that Tomlin is not fully committing to who the starter is. I understand that we might want to know, even media people. I get it. But at the end of the day, and I want to say I said this on Tuesday, what difference does it make? At the end of the day, we're going to see who the quarterback is on Sunday. It's not like they can hide the quarterback from us. Like, I understand just from wanting to know that you want him to just say it, but I promise you it's a lose-lose situation, in my opinion. If Mike Tomlin comes out on Tuesday, if he came out on Tuesday and said Russell Wilson will definitely be the starter, the criticism would have been rained down on him. Why are you going to take him out when Justin Fields has been playing great? If Mike Tomlin would have said that we're sticking with Justin Fields, it would have been another segment of people criticizing that because, hey, well, he's not really, playing that great, yada, yada, yada. You should go with Russ. So I think, and listen, I'm speculating. Let me qualify my statement. I am speculating. I think Mike Tomlin is purposely managing this the way that he feels is the best, so it doesn't create a larger story. Because it's a story either way. It's a story if he commits to Russ, if he commits to Fields, or if he does what he's doing right now. And I get the feeling that him and the organization are more so, we're going to go with the lesser of the three options. It's going to be a media frenzy no matter what, and we're just going to handle it this way to try to minimize the noise. That would be my opinion. I don't know it to be fact, but that would be my opinion. And I did see George Pickens kind of alluded to the fact that Russ would be starting. So, and that's what I'm saying. You can't hide it anywhere. It's funny just watching the criticism. Like, again, y'all know how I feel about Steelers Depot, man, and how much I rock with their information and their reporting. But again, I said this Tuesday, I got to disagree with Alex Kazor a little bit. He's harping on the fact that, the Steelers should have more confidence and to come out and say who their quarterback is going to be, regardless of what the Jets. Why, though? You know what I mean? Why? Why does that matter? Let's say that they are doing that to make the Jets have to prepare for both. Okay, I'm cool with that. Again, folks, this is not information that can be hidden on Sunday night. So I just don't, again, all due respect to anybody who feels that way, the media, Alex Kazor, anybody who feels that way, I fully respect where you're coming from, but I just don't understand why is it a big deal. It's only a big deal because we want to know. That's all. So I just felt like I needed to say that. As far as the decision, man, I'm so torn between the decision because, as a matter of fact, I see why I did get in here and I see Jamar in here. Thank you for letting me know how to fully pronounce your name, brother. I'm going to get to the all 22 footage. I think I'm going to try to get that done after this stream so you guys can see that. I'm a little late on that, but I want you guys to see it. I have a few specific plays that I'm going to show. I have to say this. Justin Fields is missing some opportunities, man. It's almost like he's afraid to pull the trigger. If I had it my way, I would like for him to continue to play and let's build off of his skill set and let him learn on the job, so to speak. I know he's been in the league. This is his 4th year, but you understand what I'm saying. But there is a part of me that feels like, does the coaching staff feel like they could be getting more out of the offense? We got to remember why they brought in Russell Wilson. That's the thing I think people are missing. Justin Fields only came to Pittsburgh because Kenny Pickett asked to be traded. We have to remember that the idea originally was for Russell Wilson to take over the reins and hopefully take us to the next level. So it's almost like, though Fields is doing what he can to help us win, are you cheating yourself by not even attempting to see what Russell Wilson can do? It's a tough position to be in because we're 4-2. Like all this stuff I've been saying, you take Justin Fields' legs completely off the field. That's been a huge component of the offense, whether designed or whether off script. Justin Fields is one of the tops in the league in quarterback touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. It's like you're losing an element and we're 4-2, but then on top of that, can you get more out of the offense with Russ? The only thing that I'm concerned about is sacks. Some of those times where they've had to escape. So I don't know. It's tricky, man. JP Giles says, I'm honestly pretty hyped to see how this offense looks with Russell Wilson. Yeah, it's tricky because I don't want to rock the boat. But this offense does seem to be a perfect fit for Russell Wilson. I mean, outside of the design runs. And after watching film, man, again, you guys will see it in a moment. After watching film, there are plays, like I mentioned some of them on Tuesday. That one play that stands out, man, that Calvin Austin was running a corner route. He's wide open. He's wide open. Fields is looking that way, and he elects to dump it down to Fryermuth for like a gain of 6. There was one down near the end zone where we could have scored. Guy comes open, wide open, and it's almost like he's a little gunshot. You would believe that Russell will make these throws. So I get it. It's just tough because of the situation we're in. So I'll say that, man. Last thing I will say about that before I get into the comments, the coaching staff, all of them, Mike Tomlin, Arthur Smith, quarterback coach, whoever else comes up with the offensive plans, we have to believe that there's a reason why they're doing this. We might not agree with it, some of us, but there has to be a reason. Like, I have seen so many people to say how stupid Mike Tomlin is, how dumb the coaching staff is because they're making this change. And I'm like, okay, if it doesn't work, that's going to be an easy target. But do we really think that the coaching staff is that dumb? Like they just can't see nothing that we're seeing. We all know better than them. Like, when are we going to stop doing that and have faith in the coaching staff and your head coach to know that there must be a reason for them to go to Wilson? Here's the point I made to my wife earlier. I said, it would be different if this was, say, like a Dak Prescott or a Deshaun Watson, where there's so much money tied up that you have pressure to play the guy. The owner is like, yo, we paying him, he better play. That ain't the case with Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. It's not the case. They're not financially tied to them at all to where they would have to play these guys. So you can't even say, well, they got to go with Russell because da-da-da-da-da. No. Neither one of them are making any money with us like that. So it's an even playing field. So if they're electing to go to Russell Wilson, there must be a real reason. And Tomlin continues to say he does not believe in guys losing their jobs because of injury. I think it's that simple, but I think the bias that a lot of us have, I mean, I'll put myself in that equation because I'm starting to see the light a little bit more now. But I think the bias a lot of people have is the 4-2 record. And a lot of people are not seeing that, okay, maybe there's still plays and there's things that we're leaving on the field. Think about all of them games where we weren't scoring any points. I think that's what the coaching staff is looking at. We think we could take what we have to the next level or a higher level with Russell Wilson. And only time will tell. The beautiful thing, though, still in Nation, is if he doesn't play well, they could go right back to Justin Fields. And I love the way Justin Fields is handling everything. And I can only imagine that the team knows what it is. Both Russell and Justin know what it is. I'm pretty sure they've had these conversations when they both came in. They knew who was going to do what and what role each person plays. I'm pretty sure that conversation has been made. So because we're not seeing that, everybody has an opinion, but we'll see what happens, man. And I am kind of interested to see what Russell Wilson may be able to do in this offense, but I don't want us to stick with him for long if he's not playing well. Round of applause to my man Jamar, man, for another donation. I appreciate you, brother. Double back. No, not tonight. This is not a call show. We'll be done here in a few minutes. Tuesday, though. Tuesday is when I expect to take calls on Turbo Towel Tuesday, as long as Blog Talk Radio is cooperating. Let me read some comments really quick. Jamar says, is it worth possibly of losing a future QB over it? Maybe not. I don't think it's worth that, but honestly, guys, again, qualifying my statement, this is pure speculation. I have no clue. But I am willing to say, and I'm willing to bet that we're not going to lose Justin Fields as far as mentally or him being upset or anything like that, because this guy wanted to come to Pittsburgh. Think about where he wanted to go, why he wanted to go there, understanding that he was going to be coming behind Russell Wilson. I think Justin Fields is well aware that he is the future and the Steelers plan on doing business with him. That's just my opinion, just looking at how it's going. So I think the Steelers will find a way to get him back. And yeah, I don't think this is going to disrupt him at all. I don't. I really don't think that. Cade 007 says, don't forget, before Russell Wilson was named the starter, before he got injured, Tomlin knew once he was healed, he was going to put Wilson in. I don't know why people are freaking out. You're right. It's because of the 4-2 record, bro. That's all it is. And I get it, but that's all it is. And like I said, some of the same people freaking out are some of the same people that didn't want to see Justin Fields play. Did not want him to play at all. But now all of a sudden, what's that, a little gray hair? But now all of a sudden, they upset if he doesn't play. Let's see what else y'all got. Mark Irish says, both QBs are quoting scripture in their interviews. Tomlin has navigated this beautifully. Man, you said it earlier, Mark. I'm more inclined to believe that. We have no proof, but again, if we just look at Mike Tomlin's history and what players say about him and how highly they speak of him and yada, 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 I'm more than confident in thinking that these conversations have been had in office. We just are not hearing them. He's just not committing to what we want to hear. But I am with you. I think it's more stable than some people are imagining. I don't think it's going to disrupt anything. I could be wrong, but I just don't think so. Andre Romero says Fields is good, but he's not a pass-first quarterback. Run-first QBs are useless. Even Lamar. Look at how much Lamar has become more of a pocket presence guy and pass-first. Yeah. Who else we got? Why Diggy says, remember this. Neither guy's under contract after this year, so this is a gamble either way at a low cost long term. Those are facts, though. I know a lot of us assume that Fields is coming back, but neither one of these dudes are under contract beyond the rest of this season. So either way, the Steelers, like my man Diggy just said, they gambling. Either way. They could be going into the draft next year. Like, we don't know how this is going to go. So, you know what, why Diggy? That's another thing you might have to look at. If they know they only got Russell right now for one season under contract, and they think he is a better option all around, that's why you play him. To see what we could get out of him this season. I will admit it's just bad timing, man. It's bad timing because we're winning. So it looks like he's being demoted. But Anthony Dandridge says, with Russ, the receivers' problems are going to go away. Very possible. Very possible. Steelberg, what up, Steelberg? He says, going to be a tough game regardless of who's starting. Steelers need some help on offense to keep up with these high-scoring teams. I definitely agree with that. And let me say this, too. Since we've gotten the keys to victory out of the way, let me say this to y'all, and remember who said it. Hopefully this is not something that we have to bring up on the post game. Don't let that 2-4 fool you. I got one better than that. Don't let our 4-2 fool you. You dig what I'm saying? Don't let the Jets being 2-4 fool you. I know what y'all gonna say. Most is still a nation. If we lose, oh, there go Tomlin again, losing a subpar team. It happens to everybody, man. Don't let that 2-4 fool you. Like, remember when the Steelers was 2-4 or whatever it was, and we went on a little run? But how confident are you in our team at 4-2? Just squeaking by. It was an anomaly. Anomaly. How you say that word? I always pronounce it wrong. Anomaly. There you go. You have to slow down and say anomaly. It was an anomaly that the Steelers put up 32 points against the Raiders this season. Given what we've done prior to that, don't let that 4-2 fool you, bro. And don't let the Jets 2-4 fool you. It's a game that Steelers can lose. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. They have some guys on the defensive side of the ball. It's going to be a game, man. I'll take a few more and then we'll get out of here. MT Legendary says, I am not a fan of how our defense is so reliant on Watt. We rely too much on our front to get pressure and we don't blitz, man. It's frustrating and we play so much of an outdated spot drop defense. I definitely agree with the spot drop. I hate that we play that so much, but also be careful what you ask for. This might not be the week that you want to go out there and blitz. Aaron Rodgers will eat us alive if we keep showing them blitzes. Aaron Rodgers has seen it all. So we're going to have to be more strategic. And even with him getting the ball out quick, blitzes might not even get home. As far as the relying on TJ Watt thing, I mean, I just think, guys, and no disrespect, MT, but just my thoughts. I think comments like that are more results bias. And what I mean by that is, I mean, how many teams have a stud or two on their defense and the defense feeds off of that? That could be said about a lot of teams. Most people would say right now that the Detroit Lions might suffer a bit without Hutchinson, and God bless him, man. Hope he has a speedy recovery, but I don't think to say that they rely on him, I can't go that far. He's the stud. You know, I think most defenses would like to rely on their front. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think that's an epiphany or anything. I think every team, every defense in the NFL would love to be in a position where they can rely on their front because, like they always say, rush and coverage go together. You don't even need the beast secondary when you have a nice front. You just need guys that can get the job done in the secondary if your front is killing. So, you know, that's just kind of how I feel about that aspect of it. But I'm in full agreement with you with the spot drop zones, man. They got to stop that, man. I said that earlier in the show. We cannot key to victory. We cannot sit in them spot drop zones and play so much distance away. We got to condense that zone if we're going to run it. And I would be more amped to playing more man coverage in this game. And if you beat us, you beat us. I would be in more favor of leaning more towards man versus zone, especially with Rodgers getting the ball out of his hands quick. Get up on them receivers, jam them a little bit, try to reroute them. And if they beat you, they beat you, man to man. It is what it is, mano a mano. If you win, I get up and shake your hand and say, good go, brother. But if I'm just sitting back in the zone and you beat me, then, you know what I mean? You beat me. And I didn't do anything to try to combat that. That's just my opinion. But all right, guys, I guess we can go ahead and wrap this one up. Let's see if there's another comment or two that comes in really quick. And like I said, guys like Walter Worthy, Y Diggy, Jamar Sanders, who else is in here that's an extended family member? Be on the lookout tonight, guys. I'm going to cut this all 22. I got some plays to look at, and I think that's what we'll do is I'll find about 6-7 plays or so. I'm not going to do the super long one. Lyle McCombs as well. Y'all will see that. I'm going to get to that tonight. Tonight is just me and my son right now. You know, my wife is having dinner with some of our friends, some of her girlfriends. You know, a lot of us couples get together, but the girls are having a dinner tonight. So I got some time on a Friday night to fool around with y'all. So yeah, one last one. Doubleback says Rodgers will force it to his boy Sunday night. I promise you that will be number 39 opportunity for his first pick of the year. Man is what we need to do. And what'd you say? Shaq that zone. Yeah. Man, the zone is da-dun. I mean, again, listen, you can't run zone all game. You can't run man all game. It has to be a mix and match. But it's the way that we run zone is what pisses me off. We give too much space. Spot drop. If you're going to run zone, shorten that space a little bit. Run more match coverages. I don't know. It is going to be scary. You are absolutely correct. Hello, Alexis B. How you doing? So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down for the night, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in and rocking with me, man. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. You know, whatever you're doing over the weekend, please just be safe out there, man. Stay healthy. Stay safe. God bless. Good night. Thank y'all for tuning in like always. And, of course, man, we'll be doing a post-game show after the game. Gonna be a late one, but you know we definitely got to reflect on the game Sunday night, and hopefully we're talking about a victory. You know, we shall see. But outside of that, man, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Appreciate y'all coming through. I shall see y'all soon. Peace.